Welcome to this training brought to you by the North San Diego County Realtors, where we turn real-world case interpretations published by the National Association of Realtors into practical lessons that strengthen your understanding of the Code of Ethics in action. Today's focus, claims of guaranteed savings from Case Interpretation 1-23 under Article 1 of the Realtor Code of Ethics. Article 1 emphasizes loyalty to your client, protecting their interest above all else. But it also requires you to be truthful in all communications, including advertising and promotions. Misleading claims, even well-intentioned, can erode trust and potentially violate your ethical duties.
In response to Realtor A's advertisement, guaranteed savings don't purchase without representation. Mr. and Mrs. B signed an exclusive buyer representation contract with Realtor A. After viewing several homes accompanied by Realtor A, Mr. and Mrs. B decided to make an offer on 123 Hickory. The seller did not accept the offer. The listing broker explained to Realtor A that the sellers were well situated, spent much of the time at their vacation home, and had determined not to accept anything other than the listed price. Realtor A, in turn, explained that to Mr. and Mrs. B. In response to their questions, he indicated that there appeared to be little point in making anything other than a full price offer, but that he would be happy to continue to show them other properties. Mr. and Mrs. B responded that they were not interested in other properties and had decided to make a full price offer on the Hickory Street residence. They did, and their offer was accepted. Following closing, and after discussing their transaction with friends, they wrote a letter to the Association of Realtors, indicating that while they were pleased with the service provided by Realtor A, they thought that his claim of guaranteed savings was an exaggeration. After obtaining and reviewing a copy of the Code of Ethics, they filed a formal complaint alleging that Article 1, as interpreted by Standard Practice 1-4, had been violated. At the hearing, Realtor A argued he was able to aggressively negotiate purchase agreements on behalf of his clients, whereas the listing broker or subagents with their loyalty to the seller could not. He also indicated that, in many instances, his buyer clients paid less, often substantially less than buyers dealing through listing brokers, subagents, or even through other buyer agents. However, in response to questioning by Mr. B's attorney, Realtor A acknowledged that, while savings were not uncommon, they were not ensured in every instance, particularly in cases where the seller was determined to receive full price. But I offered to show them other properties, and if we looked long enough, I'm sure I could have found them a bargain, offered Realtor A in his defense. The hearing panel disagreed with Realtor A's reasoning, concluding that while savings might be possible, Realtor A had been unable to demonstrate them in every instance and that his guarantee of savings was misleading. Consequently, his advertisement was in violation of Article 1.
In this case, Realtor A advertised guaranteed savings, don't purchase without representation. The promise was clear. Working with him would save buyers money. Mr. and Mrs. B were convinced by this message and signed an exclusive buyer representation agreement. After touring several homes, they fell in love with one and made an offer below asking price. But the seller wasn't flexible. Realtor A told the buyers that a lower offer likely wouldn't be accepted. Mr. and Mrs. B decided to offer full price, which was accepted. After closing, they were satisfied with the service, but felt the guaranteed savings claim had not held true. At the hearing, Mr. and Mrs. B cited Article 1 in Standard of Practice 1-4, claiming the guaranteed savings language was misleading. Realtor A defended himself, explaining that while savings weren't universal, his clients often paid less than list price. Still, he admitted there were exceptions like this one. He insisted the phrase was intended as general marketing language, not a literal guarantee, but was that enough to meet the ethical standard? The hearing panel determined that Realtor A's guaranteed savings claim simply couldn't be supported. He wasn't able to demonstrate that savings occurred consistently or that they could be expected in every case. Without evidence to back up the promise, the guarantee itself lacked credibility. Because the claim suggested a level of certainty that wasn't actually achievable, the panel concluded that the advertising was misleading under Article 1, and with no consistent or provable results to justify such a promise, Realtor A was ultimately found in violation of Article 1 of the Code of Ethics. This case highlights the importance of avoiding promises that can't be consistently delivered. While competitive advertising is allowed, guarantees must be based on outcomes you can regularly demonstrate, not isolated examples. Under Article 1, your ethical duties extend beyond your client's interactions. The way you market yourself and your services matter just as much as how you negotiate or close a deal. A claim like guaranteed savings sets an expectation. If that expectation can't be met in most cases, it becomes misleading. Ethical representation includes advertising that is truthful, verifiable, and built on trust. Let's take a moment to reflect. Have you ever seen or even used ads that promise things like savings, better deals, or fast closings? What responsibility do you have to ensure those claims are consistently accurate? How can you market your skills without crossing ethical lines? And when results vary from one client to another, what kind of disclaimers or clarifications should you include? These are important questions for anyone who represents buyers and anyone who values trust. At the core of it all is this: how do you market your services while honoring your ethical obligations under Article 1? It's not just about being persuasive, it's about being principled. That balance between effectiveness and integrity is what sets true professionals apart. Thanks for joining us for this case interpretation review. Upholding the Code of Ethics doesn't stop at the transaction. It begins with your marketing and continues through every client interaction. For more real-world training and resources, visit www.youtube.com/@NSDC Realtors.